It's me again, Shalom. I just want to look at the map of the ancient Mesopotamia, and I saw this on the Israel a history, like it's got two dashes on the A and the history and .com. Yeah, these are the. I'm just looking at the river Euphrates and stuff like that, and then I just want to make this one a quick one to show you the nickname, the land between the two rivers. The map of the ancient Mesopotamia decides why the land has earned the nickname. And that's what it says. But both lands were dominated by at least one major river. The land of Canaan depended on the mighty on the Jordan River. The map the Mesopotamia shows how civilization sprang up along the banks of the Tigris. I mentioned in probably one of the Mongoloid videos in the Euphrates River. The Euphrates River, that's in your Bible. And it's all in Jerusalem in the Middle East. All is in the Middle East. The patriarch Abraham was called from the city of Ur or something like that, located in southern Mesopotamia. The map that an ancient Mesopotamia is dotted with the cities along with the southern parts. It was here the Sumerians established their sophisticated advanced civilization around 3000 BC. The great prophet Ezekiel is believed to have written many of his prophecies. Let's read that again. The great prophet Ezekiel is believed to have written many of his prophecies along the banks of Kibar, and Shebar River while in exile. He was in exile. And while in exile, Abram, Naharaim, Abram Naharaim was hosted to many of the early patriarchs, such as Abraham and his father Terah, as well as Isaac and Jacob. In fact, let's read this again. In fact, many cities of this region bear similarity in the name to Abraham and his families. It's the Fertile Crescent, and it was along the banks of Tigris and Euphrates River that the Fertile Crescent ran in the northwestern direction, laying in between the two rivers and Persian Gulf from marshland. This region has remained such as since ancient times. The geographical map of ancient Mesopotamia will show the Fertile Crescent in the south, and running the northwest from there, splitting the Tigris and the Euphrates River on its way, and the westward along to the southern Turkey towards the Mediterranean Sea. But Turkey in the Bible is known as Pergamos, now known as Turkey today. The land of Elam is Iran. Iraq is Babylon, the Babylonians, the Iraqis, and the Syrians, known as Assyria, connects those two. In Saudi Arabia, Jordan is close into Jerusalem, the land of Jordan. At the coast of the Mediterranean, the Fertile Crescent southward run along with the eastern Mediterranean coast. The fertile, a lot of people call it fertility, but it's Fertile Crescent pierces a narrow strip of the land and caught in the struggle between the mountains and islands to the east and the Great Sea to the west. The narrow strip of the land is known as the Levant, the ancient Syria from the northern borders of the Levant, while the Palestinians formed the southernmost limits. Thus, many of the ancient Mesopotamia and the ancient Palestine show the connection these two countries had to the land and the resources of its great rivers. Let's see. Abram, Naharaim, and Neviah. They call the Egyptians was known as Neviah Empire and all that. The Babylonian, the Tigris, Euphrates. Unlike the Tigris, Euphrates will flood annually, unlike the Nile, and however that's in Egypt. Flowing to these rivers was unpredictable. At the times of the rivers provided the inadequate waters, other times the violent floods. The people thus were fascinated with the flooding waters of Tigris and Euphrates. The ancient Mesopotamian flood stories, such as the Epic of the Gilgamesh, See, the epic of the Gilgamesh tablets, that's in the Babylonian Empire. That's what Nimrod in his days in the Gilgamesh were common in the case. The latter, many similarities have been found between this story and the biblical flood in Genesis. Ancient Mesopotamian maps. At the southern end of the map of the ancient Mesopotamia maps, the ancient kingdom of Samaria can be found. The ancient Sumerians were first civilization recorded in history. Sumerians believed to have arrived around 3000 BC and an extremely advanced and civilized society. And it was from the city of located like or something like that, located in Samir that Abraham lived. Ancient Samaria. How do you call it Samaria? Okay, pronounced Samaria. Okay, Samaria. Southern Mesopotamia lacked many resources such as, however, the Sumerians learned that our irrigation and these fields produced ample crops of barley and wheat, as well as dates and sesame. The nearby waters provided a large supply of a fish, a whale. Here's this. Other empires arose in these regions. Here's the other empires rose in these regions, such as the Babylonian. The Babylonian Empire is a mix of three races. The Arabians. The Saudi Arabians were black. They were not Arabs. Okay, I just mentioned that in one of my the table of nations. The Arabs, the Ethiopians, and the Babylonians known as the Iraqis, all of them are mixed Shemitic and Hamitic blood. They're all black, but mixed breeded blood people. There were mixed multitudes of them, shades of brown. Akkadian Empire, the Akkadian Empire, the king Chedorlaomer or something like that. He was part of that, took over the land. It was a lot of kings that in his army were part from southern Mesopotamia. Many empires were established throughout all the ancient Mesopotamia. That's right, they did establish. And many map of the ancient Mesopotamia showed kingdoms and witches such as arose through the land of the southernmost and the northmost. The kingdoms of Elam and the Sumer were found in the south, right north of the Sumerians, Sumer or the Sumerians, and the Babylonian Empire arose. This empire established at the very earliest times by Nimrod. Yeah, it was the very earliest times of Nimrod. See, the Babylonian Empire was the very first empire. Okay, Egypt was too. It came before anybody, but Babylonians were the wickedest empire of all time, mixing all the races together as one. Shemitic and Hamitic blood descents. That's all they are. They are dark-skinned people too. There's pictures of them and artifacts to this day. Would destroy Jerusalem and the temple under King Nebuchadnezzar in 586 BC. Watch this. I'm going to read that again. Under the King Nebuchadnezzar in 586 BC. That's in Daniel. He's all talked about in Daniel chapter 2 and the 3rd, all the way through the 12 or 10 chapters. One of those chapters, he's the king of Babylon. It ain't only Titus. He was the one that attacked it, and everybody else attacked it. Just the north of Babylonians arose the Akkadian Empire. The Man Empire rose out of the ancient city of Mari, or something like Mary or Mari, or something like that. The Mari tablets shed an unbelievable light in the ancient names and places, well as the mentioned in the Hebrew several times. Yeah, this is Mesopotamia. I don't have to read all this and talk about the Assyrian Empire and the Chaldean kings of Babylon rose, the Chaldeans. And I don't think the Israelites were Chaldeans. Arphaxad is the father of the Israelites. So the Chaldeans had to be somebody. And they said it was Arphaxad, some of them. But it doesn't have the Chaldeans. I don't know if we're the original. We don't know because, I get them all mixed up because of the Table of Nations. You have to understand how it's lined up. So, yeah, this is the pictures of it, of the Mesopotamia, the Assyria, and shows it on a map. So, yeah, I just want to come with this one, a quick one, to show you that I was reading about the Mesopotamia. So with that, I want to say shalom.